User experience design is a set of tools that you can put under your belt that helps you communicate a design when building, say, a website or a product of any kind in that sense. So in today's video, I'm going to do a walkthrough of the process that I'm putting together for my new book and course, Atomic Experience Design, and I'm going to be using it to fix the marketing for my current book, Atomic Note-Taking. So Atomic Note-Taking is my book about teaching you how to create atomic notes, to invest in your personal knowledge management. And today we'll be going through how to use the user experience techniques to market it. So I'll just show you very quickly what I have currently on the web for the product. So here is the landing page for Atomic Workflows. So Atomic Workflows is the overarching brand, you could say, that these products will sit within. And its core idea essentially is to incrementally make improvements, atomic improvements to your workflows, whether that's note-taking, design, user experience, all those things. And then here is Atomic Note-Taking. So the product has been out since the 1st of December. And while it's done very well, in the sense there's closing in on 500 people who have purchased, and in across 65 countries, I believe, the landing page isn't great. I think there's much room for improvement. Some of the feedback I've had suggests that it's not intuitive enough, and some of the analytics which I've managed to look at suggest that it's not doing enough to really present the value proposition of the book and guide someone through that journey. And that's what we're going to be fixing today, is essentially what comes on here, and you can branch that out into, say, YouTube ads, PPC ads, pay-per-click, for example. So if you're doing any external marketing, they can all align. So here we have essentially a very simple execution. Introduce the product, have a bold statement, a video which I've dropped in. I didn't have launch with this video in here. I put it in because I felt it could bridge some of the gap while I fixed the content, essentially. Trying to do some positioning here, who it's for, some key points to mention. It's quite lacking visually. It could be more. Trying to get some social proof in here, using a third-party product with videos. It's fine. There's just not enough of it at the moment. And then the value proposition, essentially. You buy the complete package, or you buy just the PDF book, with then a Q&A to essentially catch the things that I haven't put in the page but want to explain for anyone. So in terms of people landing on this page and converting to buying, it sits at around 2 to 3% conversion rate. So that means for every 100 people who have come to this page, only 2 or 3 people will end up purchasing, which either means I need to fix the funnel and get lots of people on the page, or I can fix the page and help those who are already here. Because if I get that up to 3%, 3 to 4%, that is essentially 50% increase in revenue for the product. So that seems like a sensible approach. When you factor in that most people discover it through my YouTube channel, only a portion of those people will click through to the website, and then only a portion of those. So the funnel is diminishing the potential quite dramatically. So that's the goal of this video. So moving into Figma, so I'm working on a template for the new Atomic Experience Design product, and essentially it will break down all the various elements you need in order to go through the process. And I've stripped it back so that we can start from a fresh project here, and we'll just work through it. And as we do it, I'll explain what essentially I'm doing. Normally I would start with some business goals. I could bring that in, actually, the business goals right at the very beginning. This is usually, if you were to be creating a brand new business, then what is it that your objectives are? And you could argue that my business goals are to, well, first make money, but really it is to get the best reach for the new workflows for people to use. So there's sort of let's say an altruistic goal that while I can make money doing anything, I actually want people to benefit from what it is I produce. But another business goal is to have a sustainable and predictable revenue stream. Okay, I'm not going to dwell too much on that because I haven't really thought too much about the business side of it. I just want it to passively make some income so that I can use that as fuel for the next projects. Okay, where we're going to start is the persona. Now, a persona is a representation of your type of user, and the question here is, who is my type of user? So I'm going to pick one from essentially the type of people I've spoken to. It would probably reflect on myself and my journey through this, but that doesn't mean there is only one persona, because I know students use this technique. I know potentially teachers could use it if they were creating a course or something for their students. For me, I'm neither of those, and certainly for the people who I've spoken to from my YouTube community, they generally are professionals, usually between 30 and 40, between the ages of 30 up to late 40s. Doesn't mean that's the only user. That's just this persona where they've got to a point in their career and now they're wondering, how do I reach the next step? What's next? Do I transition sideways, or do I keep leveling up where I am? So we will call this person a professional. I don't quite know what the right terminology for this. Let's say, actually, I'm going to change it to an experienced career professional. I might change this again as I'm trying to get to someone who's sort of at the midpoint of their career and they've got a lot more potential left, and this book will help them unlock that. So what are their key goals? What is it that they're trying to do? So they're trying to optimize their workflows. They're trying to coordinate and mentor others within a team. They're looking to advance their career, and they probably they want to become an effective manager or leader. So this is someone who isn't at the lower part of their career where they're really focused on gaining the skills and the expertise in their field. They've gone through that, they've built their reputation, they're now moving up to the next. They want to use that reputation to essentially lead a team, influence kind of decision making, those kinds of things. And I would just add in be able to make more effective decisions, to communicate clearer and with more authority. And there was another thought I had there. So to make more effective decisions, to collaborate more effectively. So this is now someone who is in that environment where they need to work with others, need to influence others, they need to build momentum and all of that. That is what this persona is about. That's very different to a student who would be reading this book. So ordinarily what I would do is create multiple personas and then make sure that I'm designing the marketing for each of those. I'm not going to dwell too much on that for this video, but I will go through for the marketing and layer those in as well. So what are their behaviors? They respond to ad hoc work, use email quite heavily. So a lot of their communication would be on email. They would probably take meeting notes and write meeting agendas, some thinking in the workplace. They would read the sort of popular business books, so they're looking to take something that they can apply to their work. Use their smartphone quite heavily. What other behaviors? They would have a very packed diary. They would probably have a family, so have a restricted amount of alone time, a restricted amount of alone time. So when you think of someone who has time to sit down and read, they're probably busy doing stuff with their family. I'd say that's a behavior. So what must we do when we are now communicating, working with? So we must allow for small incremental effort. And the reason I say that is because they've got restricted time, essentially. I'm trying to think what else. Because it's a book rather than a website or an app. I mean, one could argue that the video course component should be included in here. So make it easy to continue where they got to. So we must make sure it's easy to continue. Make clear the progress they are making. So if it's a course, they need to be able to plan their time because they've got restricted time, a busy schedule, and go through that. What we must not do, so what mustn't we do when we do this? Assume they have, it's kind of the negatives of what we must do. They have hours and hours of time. Assume they will read the whole book. And I think, certainly reflecting on myself, I'll probably read a book. If it's really interesting, I'll keep reading, but I might just pick it up and put it down. So their behaviors will take months to read a single book because of the busyness they have. So now we've got a little bit of a perspective of what it is this person is like. Now, traditionally you would interview people, you would ask people, does this fit your behaviors, and try and collate that together. So if you have access when you're designing your own experience, if you have that, then by all means, that would be better to ask them questions. So now we're going to do the context mapping. So the content we are providing is essentially what's in the book. So we've got like an introduction, so beginner's introduction, and then we'll have all the examples. So these are the things that come in the book. We have the advanced techniques. Let's fix the spelling there. We have the Q&A. So this is essentially what the book provides, but we've also got the video course. Okay, now what is it that we're actually selling? We're selling a PDF of the book. We're selling the EPUB version of the book. We have the video course. we also have the Discord community. That's part of it as well. And we're also packaging, at least for the complete package, the Obsidian Vault files. So that goes with it as well. That's also part of the content as well. But that is essentially what we're providing. We also have the website as well. Now, with those together, what does the user bring? So they have an e-reader, but they also may have a Kindle reader. They may have a smartphone, and they may have a desktop browser. So with the combination of those, in other words, if I was to be selling this as a Figma file, let's say, but they don't have Figma, then it doesn't intersect, and therefore I can't give them their service offering. So okay, service offering. So, dear career professional, life, I'm just going to make this up. I'm going to do a stream of consciousness. This won't be published anywhere, but life is busy. You're busy. I can't spell busy. Life is busy. You're busy. Your friends are busy. Your colleagues are busy. But within this, you want to improve. You want to be able to make smarter, more impactful decisions. You want to be efficient with your time. There are many techniques that you can learn through the wealth of knowledge and insights from others. But accessing this knowledge is fleeting. Accessing this is challenging. What you need is a simple but powerful system to capture the ideas and insights you discover. This system can help you reason, think, and use the ideas within your own actions. You'll become more the expert in your field, dependable and wise. Okay, I'm not saying I like this, but it's a first step. I would rewrite this a couple of times. I'm not going to bore you with it, but I just want to pull out anything in here now that gives us an indication. So yeah, they're busy. That's kind of the behavior. Not everyone will be busy who's a customer, but you want to improve. So there's a desire in here. You want to be able to make smarter and impactful decisions. You want to be efficient. There are many techniques that can help you learn through the wealth of knowledge and insights from others. So learn. We'll do the whole thing. Wealth and insights. So that knowledge is there, but accessing knowledge can be challenging. What you need is a simple but powerful system to capture your ideas and insights you discover. The system can help you reason, think, and use your ideas within your own actions. You'll become the expert. Become the expert in your field. Dependable and wise. Okay. These are some key emotive words now that we can layer in our thinking. Impactful decisions. Be efficient. Powerful system. So that's the sort of the very high level kind of mission of what this is trying to achieve for this type of customer. So now we're going to look at the touch points. So the touch points is, okay, awareness, discovery, activation, consumption, and relationship. These are the life cycle. How does someone become aware of what's going on here? So let me see if I can. I've lost because so I'm just going to go over into my template here, and let's copy everything on here and see if that helps us. So bring it over there, and then hopefully I can start bringing things into this file. Okay, so here we have not the icons, personas, pills. So we've got the pills that I want to bring in. So in the awareness, people will probably, now we're talking about awareness of the need for note-taking. And I think a lot of people become aware from the YouTube recommendation algorithm. So they might have seen a video on something unrelated, and then suddenly a video pops up in the feed that sort of suggests about Notion, for example, or productivity. Someone may have recommended, let's say, Notion recommendation, or some type of Obsidian, which is another note-taking app that might have happened there. So they've become aware. Someone has mentioned it. They've seen it in an online post. Maybe they've seen it on social media. So social media. And these are the touch points, because now, thinking as a business, what I want to be looking at is how do I layer into that awareness stage so I can start the journey. I can either build on someone else's awareness of the problem and tap into that, or I can go further up the funnel and try and help people discover it that way. But then they're going to do a discovery. So they'll probably, let's say, watch a YouTube tutorial. So I'm going to keep this fairly lightweight for the purpose of this video. So they might watch that. They might click on an ad. So if I run an ad, so which probably links to having an ad campaign, and those two would be linked there. So they click on the ad to find more, and they'll essentially land on the home page or the product page. Okay, they might like, for example, read a blog post or tutorial. So whatever techniques, and again, when you think of your audience and your personas, where do they hang out? Where do they get their source of information? All of that. Then we move on to the activation. So this is now where they start getting into, they've discovered, they've learnt about the product. So let's say down here, they've read the product information. Now the activation essentially is the purchase journey. So purchase the product. They download the product. Let's move that out of the way. I've got two of these things on top of each other. What else would they do? They've purchased it. Oh, sorry, download the product. So that would be one, then the other. And then probably load it onto their e-reader maybe. or if they're going to watch the video course, then that's fine. So consumption, probably when you think about the timings here, they might, over a number of weeks, let's say they might be really quick, but maybe it takes them 4 weeks or something. Now, how long would it take them to read the book? I think potentially 3 to 6 months, depending. Some people are much quicker, make no mistake. I have had people who've read it in a course of a weekend because they were enjoying it. So that could be variable. So here, now they're consuming it. So they're essentially reading the book and they're watching the videos. So keep it simple there. And then after that, the relationship would essentially, let's say, subscribe to the YouTube. They might join the mailing list. And most importantly, they will probably join the Discord. Okay, that's how they would have a relationship through this. So yes, I'm selling a book, but also there's a Discord channel to go with that. So here you would line these up and put all the arrows in the right place, but I'm not going to do that here because we need to move on. Design drivers and key experience indicators. So how do I want someone to feel when they essentially buy the book or think of buying the book? Why won't it let me? There we go. There's a bit of an annoyance in Figma that you double click to edit the text and it won't let you unless you zoom in. Okay, I want someone to feel excited. Excited that they are going to get a book that is unique and different to normal books on the topic. I want them to feel excited. And how do I know they're going to feel excited? This is the bit that's really valuable in this process. Is can't edit the text. Maybe I'll edit it over the key experience. There we go. I'll edit it here and see what that takes us. Let's put some text in. So I know they're going to be excited because that's a really hard question to answer. I don't actually know how I'm going to. Where my mind jumps to is, I don't know, maybe showcasing the types of books you can read that atomic note-taking can help you make notes on. So that's an interesting, maybe I could show some element of Atomic Habits or any other popular books that would signal to the person that, oh, it's quite exciting being able to capture what's in that book. So thinking of not just them buying my book, but the books they're going to read after reading my book so they can make proper notes on it. So I think there's an element there. And what's important is that I wouldn't have come up with that idea without this prompt, without a design drive. Like, how do you feel excited? Like, what is that indicator telling us? I can't think of any more indicators on that one at the moment now, but I want them to, so they must feel a sense of value when considering the price of the book. Feel a sense of value, because it's not a $5 book on Amazon. It's I price it at $39 for the book and then $139 for the course. It's a lot of money, but the question is the value you get out of it, because it gives you something in return, and that is every other book you read will be more valuable to you thereafter. So I could do this. I could showcase how many books you will read after atomic note-taking and spread the cost across each of those books to show what return of investment you will make. So if I spend $40, let's say, and then I read 40 books over the next 5 years. So for every book I buy, I can pay an extra $1 and I've got a better note-taking system to make sure that book is worth something to me, right? That's the thinking, and I can visually show that somehow. What other sense of value? So testimonials of those who have purchased and used it for their own gains, essentially. Something along those lines. Okay. How else? We're buying something over the internet. Must feel trusting that buying the book is a safe choice. So how do I do that? I can do that with essentially being on camera, talking honestly about the book, saying who the book isn't for, so you don't buy it when it's not for you, and then social proof with testimonials, and money back guarantee. So my policy is, if in 30 days it wasn't for you, just email me, I'll refund it. And a couple of people have done that. They've realized that they couldn't really afford it at the time. And yeah, fine. It is what it is. So, okay. Are there any other emotions, any other feelings that I want someone to have? I want them to feel excited, a sense of value, trusting. I want them to feel unique. It must feel unique. And why do I say that? Unique, that they are, what I'm trying to say, special in discovering this technique that is quite niche. It is a niche technique, and you can do that by essentially demonstrating that it does take a ambitious, and that's not the right word, someone who's bold person. Bold's not the right word either. Curious person to discover this technique. Show who else from many different fields have used it. So your peers at work probably won't read this book. I think that's the fair statement. Therefore, it's your own unique advantage. Show that this is your own unique advantage that your peers will miss out on. I think that's quite interesting. Okay, we'll park that there. User goals. So a user goal explores all the different objectives that the given person has to achieve their goal. So they're going through the discovery. What do they need to do? So they need to understand whether the book is right for them. They need to understand whether they have time to make use of the book. They need to understand what the book will give them. And then they need to know how to implement the techniques of the book. And ultimately, they need to be able to use it and get a return of investment when reading their next book. Obviously, I've used the word book here. It could be synonymous to video courses and other things. Okay. Again, more could be done with that. So their task. Okay, right. This is where it gets interesting. So the persona, let's bring in the persona that says our experienced career professional. So remember that it's quite possible we would have multiple types of personas. So paste that in there. Let's make that. Oh, I'll figure out what's going on with that later. So here's the experienced career professional. What task are they trying to do? The task is to buy the book. Keep it simple, right? They discover it. What is, and I'm probably going to refer to the Zettelkasten, the Zettel note-taking method. That's what someone's going to ask. What is the Zettelkasten note-taking method? They'll probably ask, bearing in mind this is an experienced professional, is it just for academics? They might say, so they're just discovering at this point. They'll say, is it complicated? Is it complicated? Do I have time for it? And then they'll probably ask more practical questions like, what's the benefits? What's the benefits? What are the benefits? They might say, so this is someone who is just discovering this note-taking method. They'll probably say, how do I learn more? How do I learn more in their discovery phase? Now they go, actually that's the awareness phase, because this was from the other project. So let's just change that to the awareness. Okay, and then they're going to discover more. So awareness discovery. So in the discovery phase, the questions then are, what do we say in the discovery phase? They are reading a blog post, they're immersing themselves in this tutorial. They're going to have questions. So imagine you're reading you're watching a tutorial on YouTube. You'll say, okay, like, how do I set this up for myself? They'll have a whole host of questions. I mean, really, the book itself answers a lot of these questions, but they'll have this initially. What software do I need? They'll be like, is that software complicated? They'll probably say, you know, where do I start? Where do I start? How much time do I put into this? So you can see now that you're watching a tutorial, you're trying to apply it to your own mental models, your own books. They'll probably say, like, what do I take notes on first, right? So they may have a book they've been reading. They might say, can I move my existing notes in easily? These are a lot of questions that I would probably get in my community forum as people first get introduced to it. What do they want to do with it? Okay, and then next we've got, what do we got next? Discovery, awareness, discovery, activation. Okay. This is probably, actually I'm just going to end on the activation because, partly because of the interest of time, but also the complexity of the fact. The goal is to get someone to purchase the book at this stage. Because the book it's a product that's already been produced, I'm only selling what's already there. Okay. How much is it? They'll be asking, how much is it? They'll be asking, oh, is it worth it? Is it worth it? They'll probably be asking, like, what is it? So they're looking at the book at this point. Essentially, they're looking at what would be this page. Like, what is it? I mean, let's look at this. They'll say, who is it for? Who is it for? Like, can I preview it? Can I preview it? What if I don't like it? Like, they'll say that. What if I don't like it? Sorry, that should be activation down there. Yeah, so what if I don't like it? Is it any good? Is it any good? What if it's rubbish? What if it's crap? Yeah, I'll say, what if it's rubbish? Can I get my money back, kind of thing? This is really the crux of what I need out of this. What will it teach me? Let's put some more out here. What will it teach me? Will I understand it? Is it too complex or simple? Who wrote it, and are they credible? They might be thinking, you know, what about other books, techniques? Like, how does it compare, for example? Let's make this bigger, because this is the meat of it, essentially. What else could they say? Who is it for? Yeah, what do I get? Like, what is it what format am I buying? Okay. What I would normally do is use this as a starting point and go back and sort of really think a bit more, but let's move on. For the interest of this video, let's move on. Now we have the goals. So we've got our persona again. Let's just copy that, paste that there. Oh, interesting, that one worked. So let's copy that, delete that, and paste it there. Okay. Goal. I want to buy a book, buy the book. That's the goal. So we've got, I'll start with the landing page. Now we want to start answering these questions in the elements that this landing page will give us. So, so we'll have the hero image. The hero image. People want to see the thing. I'm very fortunate that I do have a physical copy of the book, even though that is a mock-up. I do have, you know, a printed copy, so it's a physical object. So it's good to take a photo of it or something and showcase that. And then very quickly we need to say, what is it? Hero text, and what is the benefit? Hero text. So in your face, key things there. Then we would have something like, sorry, zoom in. So on the landing page, we want I think a video actually works, you know, promo video. And the promo video can answer a lot of these questions back up here. I don't have one made yet. That's part of the output of this. So people want to know, like, who is it for? And with that, there'll be more text to that. And then like table of contents. I think that's important. I don't have a table of contents. Video samples, chapter samples. Do you have those though? And then what else we got? Oh, need a new column. I'm actually going to break this down into now so we've got the landing page. I'm just going to, while it's on my mind, bring in the pricing block. So we've got the book only offer, the complete package. We want to be able to, compare offers. We want the price, explain money back policy. We might have at this point message about taxes. When I launched, I couldn't include taxes in the price, but the payment provider did add that, so now I turned on the option. So the price you see is the price you pay, taxes included. What else have we got? Money back, taxes, and then payment methods, something along those lines. We also have, I think, some social proofing steps to go in here. So we'll have social proof block. So, like, what do others say? So video testimonials, and then sort of email testimonials. I do have people email me really positive things, but I don't quite know how to publish those at this point, but I think there's something good to have there. I've had people who have bought the online course and then desperately want a copy of the book for their shelf, and that's really nice. So there's an element of those of the social proofing. I can't think of much else at this stage. Obviously, this has been quite an intense video so far. Well done for staying this long. So here we have the landing page, the pricing block, the social proof. I feel like there is, obviously we've got the Q&A section. I want to keep those two separate, but I'll put the Q&A with, essentially, I'll duplicate that, so we can put that onto two columns for the page. So Q&A, I think we need sort of like sample screenshots, etc. Going back to what I mentioned about the excitement, when we're saying we want it to be an exciting experience. So how do we layer this in sense of value? So sort of like reading list showcase that this book will make you remember them. That's a really bad way of I just say what I mean and figure it out later. Then what else? We've got the showcase. Really, like, let's come back to here, and so how are we going to make someone feel excited? I mean, visually showing what's in it. We need a section that shows what happens if you don't buy it. Okay, so the excitement sort of relates to disappointment if you don't buy it. Trusting, so like third party kind of metrics, like e.g. as seen on YouTube type of thing, like as seen on TV. That helps build the trust and authority. what else have we got? So, and oh dear, what have I done there? I'm feeling unique. How do you feel unique? So here we want, I mean, part of that is the social proofing. It'll be good to maybe, like, I don't know, survey existing customers and like map of countries the book has sold in. I think that would be kind of cool. That's survey existing, what do I mean? Survey existing customers to show, I don't know, I probably wouldn't do that. It's really hard to like show some kind of uniqueness, like what industries they're in. Customers who buy work in, that kind of thing. Okay, done. Let's leave it at that. You can expand on that into different things. And then goals. So finally, like here we have the screen, we've got the landing page. What must users do? So they must decide if they want the book or not. Okay, different to the payment page where they must put their, actually pay it, put the discount code in if they've got one, anything like that. Yeah, what I do need, price, something to do with price purchasing parity. So I do run a thing that if you're in an area where the value of the book is too expensive relatively to your local economy, then you get offered a discount code to sort of bring it more into alignment. So landing page, what must users do? Well, you must decide if they want the book or not. Really simple. What support do they need? So this is now where we would go through these things here. So the hero image. So elements, so support and elements. Support is extra information. So yeah, they need the table of contents. They need preview chapters. They need to know what like who the book is aimed at, who the book isn't aimed at. So this is text I would need to write about these blocks. So required elements. I mean, there's it feels like a bit of duplication from up here, but the hero image, let's say, I mean, I could say the screen name, it could be the element name, hero image. We need like mock-ups, photo of the book. We need screenshots of the sample pages, maybe link to sample videos. Can't think at the moment. Okay, so who the book is aimed at, as we got to. Then we've got some chapters, the Q&A. Let's put that as a separate thing here. What would go in the Q&A? That's what you would document here potentially. So let's put landing page, Q&A. Answer questions that help support their decision. So money back policy. What formats / software do I need? What else have I got on here actually in the Q&A? Yeah, like how to download and use it. We've got money back as a refund policy. I've got affiliate pricing, community information. Well, actually, we could put that actually as a higher level. So membership to the Discord community. That's what you get as well. It's part of the package, technically. Yeah, okay. won't, some of the Q&A I've actually brought back into the design of things. So there won't really be any elements there, it's just text. And then let's do the pricing block, because I think that one's quite interesting in its own right. So let's bring that one down here. So pricing block. Okay, what must the users do? Decide which package they want. There you go. Support they need. Clearly explain what's in each package. We need text about can you upgrade later. What software do you need for it? I think that's, oh, we need to know the price and any discounts. And then supporting elements, so image of each package. That's quite hard to do, because like how do you create an image for video, for example? I think maybe the table of contents in this could be useful, as well as the video playlist and then video samples. Maybe put those in, like, I'm thinking of making essentially this a table so you can compare them easier. Comparison table, pricing, discount. For the moment, I'm running it with a bit of a discount, which may or may not be there if you're interested in the book when you go to look. What else would you put in a pricing table? Buy button, I guess. Testimonials, we'll just finish up with that, I think. Okay, so what? See what other people think. So how are the testimonials gathered? Who can leave a testimonial? And then you would consume each testimonial essentially. So maybe the element is a carousel or grid. Again, this would fall into the design aspect of how that's presented. And partial trust logo. So we use Bonjoro. I use Bonjoro, which is a third-party way of gathering those. Whether that stays, I don't know. What else? Yeah, I think that's fine. Okay. There we go. This is something we could go a bit more in depth into. Just put the goal here is I want to buy the book. I would, look at the video player element of the book as well, because there's a whole user journey around that. Again, none of that is specific to the experienced career professional, but if you're a student, like, is there a student discount or any other kind of, can I use it in the classroom type of questions? Okay, so that is quite a detailed walkthrough, sort of join along of how I am now thinking about revisiting the landing page for this. Next thing is to take that as a package. I'll probably finesse it, because obviously doing it in this video it's quite intense. So the first idea is not always the best idea. So I'll probably run through it again off camera. And then, yeah, that will then inform essentially the designs, the redesign of this landing page and maybe elements around on this website to try and fix some of that conversion rate challenges where people are looking at the page but they're not quite getting the trigger, they're not getting excited, they're not feeling confident, They're not really seeing what the value of the book is. They probably don't know what it is they're actually buying. All those questions should be eliminated in that design. So if you are interested in learning more about this process and getting access to these Figma templates and seeing other examples running through this, then do check the description for my waitlist of the Atomic Experience Design product. And if you do want to take your note-taking to the next level and get the most out of all of this education that you're investing in, go check out the book at atomicworkflows.com. Thank you.